Dave, my students are getting a little lacking in their luster. They've lost that spark for learning. We're in the grind. It's Devolson. It's February. It's testing time. It's the end of the year. What can I do to rejuvenate their spark for learning? How can I jumpstart some excitement about this wonderful world that we get to live in and learn about in my class? Well, colleague, in this video, I'm going to give you something that if you can approach it with an experimental and playful mentality, you're going to have a lot of fun. So are your kids. And it's not going to take much class time. Let's look at a 1-month goal-setting experiment that you can run with your students starting tomorrow. Well, as long as tomorrow's Monday. Okay, something that's really fun to do with students and that you can easily relate to your class and to their motivation in school is goal setting. And it doesn't need to be some elaborate system that you create. It can be just something that's kind of neat, kind of fun. This, by the way, in my book, Will to Learn, How to Cultivate Student Motivation Without Losing Your Own, would fall underneath strategy number, I really should know the numbers by now. Strategy number 8, define success wisely, early, and often. This is a way to make success clearer to your students, which is going to help them with their efficacy. That was actually pretty close, the blue one, because it's going to make success clear to them. It's going to bring what they're after to their minds twice a week. So this is what you're going to do. The next Monday of class, you're going to teach your students real quickly what a SMART goal is. A goal that's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. The time-based part is going to be taken care of because all the goals that your students set during this month are going to be 1-week goals. After you teach them what these are, which by the way, you're going to have them write down the SMART goals acronym on a fresh page in their spiral notebook, and you're going to take those notes too on your document camera. Then you're going to have them actually set 2 to 3 goals. Your more ambitious kids will set 3, your less ambitious will set 2, but there is one other requirement. One of the goals has to be school related, or if you want, it can be related to your class. And one of the goals has to be non-school related. As they're setting these first goals, make sure that you're walking around checking for understanding. Is this specific? Is this something that they'll be able to know whether they've met or not met by next week? A common non-example of a not SMART goal is I need to study more. What does that mean? How many study sessions do you want to put in? How long is a study session going to be? What classes are you going to study for during these sessions? So guide your students to make these specific and measurable. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to do the next step. Before you conclude this little short lesson, have them share with their partner what goals they set and why they set the goals. Have them take 60 seconds to do that. No more than 60 seconds. For each person to share. Okay, then set a reminder for yourself because on Friday during your regular lesson, you're just going to remind them, hey, only 2 more days to reach that goal. This is your weekend, your chance to get that baby done or not. That's it. No more talking on Friday. Now, so the next Monday, this is Monday number 2, we're now 7 weeks into those 7-week SMART goals that we set the previous Monday. You're going to have them reflect on their goals using what I call a conversation challenge. The idea with a conversation challenge is you have to keep the conversation on topic for the length of time of the full challenge. So I tell my students, you have 60 seconds here for this conversation challenge. And during this conversation challenge, partner A is going to go first, and then partner B will go next. The person speaking is going to be responsible for speaking for the full 60 seconds in response to 3 prompts. What was your goal? Why did you set it? And how did it go? Some of your more loquacious students will only be able to get through 1 goal. That's okay. Some of your more pensive students are really going to have to push to fill the whole 60-second time. Let me show you a clip of me introducing this to my students one year and some of them responding.
Okay, guys. Today with our goals, you set a goal about a week ago, about a week and a half actually. I want you to review that for yourself if you haven't already. Like we typically do, you're going to take turns with your partner, speaking for 45 seconds, explaining the what, why, how of your goal. What was your goal? Why did you set it? And then how did it go? Be as specific as you can, and I want you to aim to fill the full 45 seconds. And I think it's helped some of you to take this a little more seriously and to really up your game during it, to imagine that you're actually in an interview and you don't want to be the candidate who gives like the 1-word answer. So practice your PV legs while you're speaking as well. Get rid of your fillers. Use your hands well, but not crazy. And I'll say go for life. Try to communicate with more than just your words, also the way that you say your words. All right, any questions before we begin?
All right, so I had 3 goals. Like I said last week, one of them was kind of off from like something attainable, a SMART goal. So I'm just not really going to mention that right now. The first one that I wanted to do was reach the halfway point in the book Shining, which sadly I didn't do because I think I bit off just a bit more than I could chew. Because it's a very long book, about 660 pages, and my goal was to finish half of that in about a week. So that was kind of hard, and I wasn't able to do it. The second one was an exercise regimen that I wanted to do daily, and I think I missed about 2 days in total, but other days I went for a walk.
Okay, how many of you reached the full 45 seconds? Kept it going for the full 45? How many of you thought about eye contact? You know that you made eye contact. Okay, how many of you thought about your filler words and you were trying to get rid of those? How many of you thought about life or trying to add life to what you said? Good, good. I'm seeing different hands pop up for different things. And just like the Angela Duckworth video we just saw, remember, if you feel like you did bad right there, that's deliberate practice. That's how you become an expert. When you're aware of the fact that you're like, I know I just said like 10 times, then you're getting better. Okay? Now we're going to go window, same thing, 45 seconds. What was your goal? Why'd you set it? And how did it go? Start.
It's studying for tests, and so far I have above a 2.6, but it's like a 2.612. And I have zeros in the grade book, which is not good because I didn't turn in my, I'm going to have another 0 because I didn't turn in my article of the week. And I have been studying for tests, which is good. So yeah.
5 seconds.
I just want to get my grade point average above like a 2.6, like a 2.7 or something.
I had 3 goals actually. One of my main goals, or the 2 first goals were school goals, and my first one was pay attention in class, which is hard when you sit next to Brandon for the first hour, because Brandon is really not able to pay attention. But my second goal was to do homework, and I always tell myself I'm going to do homework, but I never do, so I didn't do my homework. And then my third goal was non-school related. It was to make a video for my YouTube channel, which I did. But my second goal for the homework, I keep telling myself to do homework, and I do it every now and then, like every other day. Like the first day I'll do my homework, the second day I won't. The third day I'll do my homework. The fourth and fifth day I'll just quit. But for paying attention, I think I just need to move away from Brandon. Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, at least you achieved something.
All right, guys, now as you set a new goal, think about maybe some new things. Maybe knock yourself, if you're in a rut, knock yourself out of it. If this becomes busy work, it's totally pointless for you to do. There's no worse way that we could spend 10 minutes in class for you. So you need to choose a goal you're going to act on. I read recently a great blog article that said that without action, what's the point? What's the point of getting advice about anything if you're not going to take action? So think about that and set a goal that is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based, but that also you have a clear picture of how you're going to take action on it. So it can be a goal of something like Duckworth was talking about, something that you want to geek out on. Okay, she mentioned it's a gritty thing for a student to have like a side interest in the Arctic and to keep that interest over time and to keep learning about that thing. That's a sign of grit, sustained passion over a long period of time. So it can be that. It can be maybe a habit you want to set for yourself that you know is going to help you to think better or be better or just be healthier. Maybe exercise or sleep, something like that. It can also be grade-based, like we've done a lot of. That's obviously a great goal too. GPA matters. So think about that, and I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to write a goal that you really believe in for the next week of your life.
So notice how I'm dual purposing this assignment. I'm not just having the students talk about, reflect on their goals. I'm also having them practice public speaking, which is a super useful skill all of them are going to need in one way or another. Once both people in the pair have gone, each person speaking for 60 seconds, you're now going to tell them to set 2 to 3 new goals. Same requirements as last time. At least one needs to be school related, at least one needs to be non-school related. And you're just going to repeat this process for 3 more Mondays. Except the last Monday, instead of having them set new goals, you're going to have them write a 1-paragraph reflection on what they've learned about themselves during this goal setting experiment. This does not take a lot of class time. I'm talking about 10 minutes per week on that Monday chunk, but it's getting definitions of success cycling through your students' mind. It's getting them to practice the reality that ultimately their life is up to them. It's up to them to set goals. It's up to them to work towards them. It's up to them to set goals that are really smart. It's up to them to reflect on their progress. But you're not doing any preaching here. There's no talking down to them about how they need to work harder. You're just facilitating goal-based conversations and goal setting. Hey, if you do this, will you do me a big favor? Let me know in the comments how it went. I can't wait to hear from you. So go ahead. What are you waiting for? End that lull. Bring back the luster. Until next time, colleagues, cheers.